The rope project. Thank you for taking interest in this. This is an unfulfilled dream of mine. I have made this project available hoping someone out there may be able to bring this into fruition. Without further ado, let's get to the point. So, what is the rope project? I call it the rope project because the idea came from here. The purpose of this project is to make few individual or families' lives better. When they are better off, hopefully they will do the same for someone else. The idea. At first, when the idea of rope project came to my mind, I thought about my relatives. I have many relatives who are just surviving somehow. They are in such a position where they can't ask for financial help or cannot do something to improve their situation by themselves. I wanted to help them to make their lives better by financially helping them with what they do or want to do. Later, the thought evolved into something which will not just benefit a selective few but a whole bunch of people or families. In the long run, the financial support will become self sustainable. It will be clearer by the end of this video. What is required for this project? Just one very rich person. The qualities I expect from that person are below. The person himself alone and no one else. Should not seek or expect anything in return. Sympathetic and not judgmental. Must not decide anyone's fate. Does not decide who should do what or how unless asked. Why no one else? The answer is to keep the intention 100% pure. If you involve several people, then the conflict of interest may arise. It may not be good for the long run. That's why I said the requirement is one very rich person and not a group of rich or financially healthy people. The person should be doing this out of kindness, not for praise, not to show generosity or anything like that. There are many organizations for that. The person should not judge people for who they are. People with different nature exist. The person should keep his or her personal opinion or emotion aside. You may not like them, but everyone needy deserves help. Keep the long term result in mind. Do not decide someone's fate because you think someone should not get more. Let fate play its part. People can have many things in mind. It is them who have to work towards something by themselves. So help them with what they want to do. If someone asks, then give ideas and suggestions. Where it is possible. In my opinion, in developed countries or underdeveloped countries. In my head, it was in Bangladesh. Shaturia Rajapur to be exact. It is a small village. My thought was when I have money, I will make a short list of people in my village who are needy and could use some financial help. Those people may or may not be my relatives. I will go to them individually and indirectly ask them what opportunities they see, which they can do, or how they can improve their financial situation if they could invest a little more. First, let's hear a true story. Keeping anonymity, I have a relative who did not have an earning source. Her husband left her with two children. She is dependent on her siblings. I don't know her, but I know her situation. Last year, someone asked her, if I give you some money to start something, then what can you do? She said she can do poultry. She received around 50 USD. So, with that money, she can buy some chickens and take care of them. Unfortunately, few of those chickens died. She could not do much from what she had informed. This year, the same person gave her around 300 US dollar to buy goats and raise them and profit from selling them. She bought chickens instead. She had informed that she uses some to lay eggs and sells others before they mature so they won't die. She is now profiting from them. It is not life changing, but it gave her an earning source and improved her condition a bit. Also, it indirectly helps achieving the purpose of the rope project. Well, now end of the story. Now let's get back to the question. Assume in Chaturia you have shortlisted 20 individuals or families who are not exactly neighbors but lives near each other. You personally help them by buying. Let's view a few picture of those I mentioned above so it will be clearer what I am talking about. Now you got the idea. Also, give them some cash to take care of those. If someone in your shortlist is already doing it, then financially boost them. Notice I said personally above. It's because if you give them full cash, then they may spend the money on their immediate needs without realizing the long term impact it will have over them. Earlier, I told you about my relative's story. Suppose after a certain period of time, people you have helped, 10 out of 20 of them were able to do good with your help, others not so well. Those who are doing good, let them be for a period of time. Those who could not do well, help them again. Those who you are helping again, this time it would be good if you ask them and they can tell you what difficulty they faced and whether they can avoid it in future, like my relative. For the purpose of this presentation, now suppose 20 out of 20 people are better off. It is time for them to gather together now. Everyone you have helped, when they are in a good financial position, then it would be easier for them to realize that how a little bit of financial support changed their lives for good. Explain your long term intention of helping them out. Explain the way you help them. If they do the same for other people around them and help make their lives a little better, how it can influence them in building a better life for themselves and those they are helping. In the long run, if they can continue helping each other and bring newer people in, then things will only get better from there on. If they hold on to the idea of the rope project. What I said just now may sound too good to be true. To be honest, at least I think like that. Even if 2 out of 20 people come forward to support the rope project, then take that as a reward. Remember, you should not seek or expect anything in return. That was one of the expected qualities from you. Helping them may have made them financially better, but not enough to help them, someone like you did. If they help someone by a little with what they can afford, then help that person to help him properly. Whether it is out of shame or necessity or the desire to do good, sooner or later others will join. An entire village will be self sufficient in the long run. As for you, it would be nice if you can repeat it again and again. That is all I had in my mind. Again, thank you for taking interest in this. If you have liked the idea, then please spread it, or at least to someone who can make a difference.